Among Us, a game the whole world was on a few years ago. One of the most fun party games ever. Among Us had people raging, people lying on stuff, people backdooring their own homies. But what happened to Among Us? I mean, in quarantine 2020, it was popping. Like, there wasn't a day I went by without playing Among Us when it came out. Just the late nights up playing Among Us with your homies, watching YouTubers play it. Like, when you talk about quarantine, you have to put Among Us in there somewhere, right? But if I had to give a reason why it fell off, I'm blaming the developers. I mean, you can't sit there and expect people to keep playing the same thing over and over and over. Obviously, it's gonna get to a point where people want more, and people really only wanted new maps. Also, COVID started settling down around that time too. Restrictions were being lifted, people were going outside again. So I truly believe the fall off of Among Us was inevitable. People were just using the game as a filler to pass time. But after that fall off in 2020, it came back in 2021 because they added a new map. With the addition of Airship, it got people back on the game, and it didn't even come back just because people wanted to play Airship. People actually forgot about the game, but of course the hype died down and it fell off for the second time. And I mean, this time it was just inevitable. There is nothing the developers could do. They gave the people what they wanted. They wanted a new map, they gave it to them. Because I mean, you look at Among Us at that time and you're just playing the same thing over and over and over again, but you're not getting like no rewards or anything from it, so you really have no reason to keep on playing the game. And at the same time, most people only play with a specific party. I know me, for instance, I wasn't just going in a random online lobby and playing Among Us. Now, Among Us did release hide and seek in 2022 because YouTubers were basically making their own version of it, and Among Us finally put it into their game. Now, did that revive the game? Sort of, but it really wasn't at that point it used to be at. And another thing was, people were asking for Among Us on console, and when they finally gave it to us, they tried to make people pay. Why would you try to make people pay for a game that's free on their computer or mobile device? And this is the end of the video. Now, do I ever see a revival of Among Us in the near future? Absolutely not. I think that game has ran its course and it's never coming back again unless they do something absolutely crazy. But Among Us is one of those games that you can return to and just play with your friends for fun. Let me know y'all thoughts on Among Us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and without further ado, this is Peak Jared and I'm out.